Friends, guess what? You made it. You are here. Today is the last day of Flip the Script, an epic week of innovative ideas to foster connection and bring your communities closer together. Because if you can think it, you can flip it. Hi, I'm Kamal from Team Flip, and today we'll be looking at the key features of NEP 2020, the opportunities and challenges, and how Flip can support us as we proceed to implement NEP within our classrooms and our schools. So, you ready? Let's flip the script. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Flip the Script. Today, we are learning how Flip can help us to get started with implementing NEP within our classrooms. Joining me now are some of our awesome Flip friends. They're experts in their fields, and we are first going to meet some amazing educators Mrunal Kanjare, Pratibha Kohli, Ranjana Verma, Vinita Garg, and later on, we are going to bring in Deepika Singh, who is a cyber expert. So let's get started by having all the educators introduce themselves. Rinal, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I am Runal Ganjare, working in government school, ZP School, Pimpalgaon Tarfe Malunge, Pune, Maharashtra, India. I just love to innovate my teaching with latest ICT tools and implement them in my teaching and learning process. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you, Brunal. I'm Pratibha Kohli, Principal and School Leader, Maharaja Agrosen Model School. I have been working in the field of education for over 30 years now. However, I'm very passionate about IT in education, and my motto is be a learner always. Over to you, Ranjana.
Thank you, Pratibha ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm Ranjana Verma, an ICT teacher with a teaching experience of over 20 years. I'm currently working as supervisor nursery at DAV Sreshta Vihar in Delhi, India. I'm passionate about teaching with technology, and integrating innovative ICT tools to make learning engaging and fun. My gratitude to Flip India and Kamalpreet ma'am for having me on this amazing panel. Over to you, Vinita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ranjana. Hi, everyone. I am Vinita Garg, ICT evangelist, STEM enthusiast, and cybersecurity expert, working for more than 2 decades at SRDAV Public School, Delhi, India. I'm so excited to be present here today and looking forward to hearing from worthy panelists of this panel. So, thank you so much. Over to you, Kamal.
Okay, so please share the photos, favorite moments, shout outs, questions, anything really on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Microsoft Flip. Shout us out, give us some love, and let us know that you're here with us. So let's get started. Here's our first topic of the day. For me, NEP means. Runal, what does NEP mean to you?
Thank you, ma'am. NEP means provide an important opportunity to move Indian education from sorting and selection to human development, enabling every student to develop to their maximum potential. I think NEP means this for me. Over to you, Pratibha, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'll just get back now. Talking about what NEP means to me is that NEP is about celebrating diversity. There is a lot of emphasis on multilingualism in NEP. So I look forward to integration of cultures and languages of India. Also, I look forward to a lot of synergy between the subjects as there is no hard separation in the subjects. We talk of holistic education and NEP really brings that into the picture. Thank you, and over to you, Ranjana.
Wonderful insights, ma'am. For me, NEP is a bridge between traditional values and modernity, an infusion of education with innovation, an integration of technology in teaching learning process, a change in focus from what to think to how to think, a shift from rote learning to experiential learning, a move from fear to confidence, an opportunity to go beyond the classroom, a pool of motivated and energized teachers, transformed future ready, lifelong learners, nurturing Indian heritage, pride, and culture. Over to you, Vinita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ranjana. And for me, NEP means equity, inclusivity, and digital literacy. And all the reforms under NEP 2020, they aim to transform India into a knowledge superpower. And I must say, it is a blueprint for an Atmanirbhar India. Thank you so much.
So, culture, what I could hear was culture, subjects, holistic education, the bridge between tradition and modernity, moving from fear to confidence, empowered teachers who are nurturing our culture as we move towards, from India, we move towards Bharat. So, these were great insights. Let's now move on to the next question, which is two things about NEP that excite me the most are. We'll get started with you, Mrunal.
Thank you, ma'am. I am excited about, according to the first thing is according to NEP 2020, that suitable ICT equipment will be made available to the teachers at school. so that teachers can suitably integrate e-content into teaching and learning practices. ICT can ICT can enhance the quality of education in several ways by increasing learner motivation and engagement by facilitating the acquisition of basic skills and by enhancing teachers training. ICT are also transforming tool which, when used appropriately, can promote the shift to the learner centered environment. And second thing is NEP 2020 stress on suitable training and development for effective online educator for the teachers. Teachers training program will help improve teachers in time management, technical knowledge, motivating student, teaching skills, thus resulting in the overall improvement in the institution. Only teachers can help students in applying academic knowledge in their daily life. This is my excitement and why I am excited about that. So over to you, Pratibha ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mrunal. Going through NEP has been really very exciting, and I so much think about ethics and constitutional values that NEP lays emphasis on. So, values like empathy, respect for others, democratic spirit, respect for public property, scientific temper, liberty, equality, and justice. These are all there in the NEP, and I'm very excited about all these points. Secondly, life skills. It's so important for our children to learn life skills, and NEP lays a lot of emphasis on communication, cooperation, teamwork, thinking skills, social skills, emotional skills, and most importantly, being resilient in today's times. So I feel NEP has a lot to give us. Over to you, Ranjana.
Loved your thoughts, ma'am. Uh, the National Education Policy 2020 attempts to liberate India from the shackles of past in providing quality education to children. I'm pretty much excited and hopeful of the vision with which NEP 2020 has been formulated. It promises an education system that contributes to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all and developing competencies. NEP 2020 aims to make India global knowledge superpower, as said by Vinita ma'am also. It's a milestone document in the context of national building, respecting the constitutional values and giving service to community through education system. Secondly, it has light but tight approach as there is less emphasis on content and more on encouraging the students to think critically and polishing their problem solving skills. It encourages pedagogy that is learner centered, discussion based, inquiry driven, flexible and holistic. In nutshell, I would say I'm excited because it advocates 360-degree holistic progress of the child. Let's hear it from Vinita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ranjana. And resonating with all my fellow panel members, I would call NEP a visionary education policy for our 21st century learners. That will definitely help in universalizing education and transforming the entire learning landscape in our country. And if implemented successfully, it would help to harness the capabilities of each and every student of India. So, before mentioning two things which I'm really excited about, I would like to throw some light on the main tenets of this policy. Firstly, there's a major shift from content driven curriculum where emphasis is on rote learning to applied learning. Then there's a shift from current teacher centric model, where teacher used to decide the subject, the curriculum and evaluation, to a student centric model that will give our students the right to decide what subjects they actually want to study. Secondly, a 360-degree assessment model that will cover not only educational but also physical and most importantly mental well-being of our students. And lastly, emphasizing problem solving and critical thinking skills, which I love most, to help our students prepare for life and navigate uncertain future. This is much needed after COVID. So, though each part of this policy is praiseworthy for me, but the best part of NEP, which I would like to mention here as an IT teacher, is mandatory coding teachings from class 6 onwards. I loved it. The basic coding knowledge, it will definitely help our children to interact with technology around them, thereby building a self confidence in them. And it is going to be a major step towards building a coding culture in India, helping our students to unlock their potential as coders and creators of tomorrow. And if we talk about future jobs, leave apart the programming jobs, even many non-programming jobs would require the use of computers and bit of coding knowledge also. So this step definitely would prepare our students for future workforce. Another prominent feature of NEP 2020, which I would like to vouch for, is the concept of learning how to learn and not learning what to learn. This will make our student self-regulated and self-directed learners who can take the responsibility for their learning by their own planning, monitoring, and self-evaluating their work. And in this way, we are going to abandon the redundant culture of bookish learning. And we are definitely going to step towards real, holistic learning, equipping every student of India with 21st century skills. So, this is what I vouch for. Thank you so much. Over to you, Kamal.
That really excites me. I so resonate with you, Vinita ma'am. Okay, so you mentioned 360 holistic development of the child. So we are moving towards student focused learning. You talked about how we would also be talking about the assessment of the child, 360 assessment, degree assessment of children, coding of the future. Then ma'am mentioned, Pratibha ma'am talked about skills that we would be developing for the child. So whether it is social emotional learning, whether it's 21st century skills, whether it is soft skills that we often tend to ignore at times, but which are really pertinent for success in life. And then there is the concept of learning how to learn, not what to learn. I really loved how Runal pulled in PD for educators, so that to empower them with time management, technical knowledge, and modeling all those skills that students can use in their daily life. So beautiful insights over there. Let's move on to the next question. Two things about NEP that I'm a bit apprehensive about are. Brunal, we'll again start with you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, in NEP 2020, language is the negative factor, as there is a problematic teachers to student ratio in India, because we have many and more languages. Like I am from Maharashtra, I am talking. It means my regional language is Marathi, and students from my school, their regional language is different, and their actual in textbook language is different. So that is the little problem for the teachers. Thus, introducing mother language for each subject in academic institution is the main reason. The second thing is lack of interest. 90% of the education is theoretically, with minuscule scopes for practical learning and research on the part of the pupils. There is no space for creating learning and thinking, and students are always bound to a specific syllabus and are not really encouraged to go out and about their seams. I am a primary school teacher in a government school. It is a known fact that we are struggle in terms of facility and infrastructure all the time. I always try my best to uplevel my knowledge and practical experience while learning by doing. So I think with the help of ICT tools, we are tackle this situation. Thank you. Over to you, Pratibha ma'am.
Thank you so much, Monal, and I truly resonate with your thoughts about diversity in the classroom. So, NEP talks of being teaching being in various languages and lot of emphasis on mother tongue. However, as a school leader, I feel that availability of teachers, especially at the primary level, so that the school can really have multilingual teaching is going to be definitely a challenging task for school leader. However, we need to overcome all these challenges and move ahead with the positive points of NEP. Also, I feel that as a school leader, we always focus on being student centric, and NEP lays a lot of focus on a student centric education 360-degree approach. However, we have classrooms where we have more than 40 students sitting together, and really it can be a big challenge for the teacher to be accommodating each and every learning style of the students. However, there are so many positive points in NEP, and I think with all that positivity, we can surely overlook these apprehensions and move ahead towards a lot of innovations in the field of education in India. Thank you so much, and over to Ranjana.
Thank you, ma'am. Echoing with you, yes, we all know that NEP is a well thought and well researched plan. It would be interesting to see how NEP folds, as a lot will depend on its interpretation and implementation. So I'm little apprehensive that in the absence of clear implementation strategy, NEP's vision of making Indian education system capable of meeting the challenges of 21st century does not merely become a Cinderella story. Also, it needs an alignment with the vision of regulatory bodies of the school and colleges in terms of planning and sharing human resource, adequate infrastructure, use of education technology, and teacher appropriation. So, with too many players, I'm afraid that will NEP be a game changer, or will it be just another policy on paper? And the reforms that it promises to bring, multidisciplinary academics, flexibility, embedding of skills, and employability just not remain words and are actually transforming the Indian education system. Over to you, Vinita.
Thank you so much, Ranjana. So let me first talk about today's scenario. What is the scenario nowadays? Now, at present, 21st century students are being taught by 20th century teachers with a 19th century curriculum. You yourself can imagine this mismatch. Although NEP 2020 is all about bridging this gap, but I totally again agree with Ranjana that it is not going to be a Cinderella story. It requires changing the mindset of all the stakeholders, teachers, students, and parents, then matching classroom and school design with significant curriculum and pedagogical changes, which we are expecting in NEP under NEP 2020. Then, a complete transformation of thoughts from what to think to how to think, and from learning what to learning how to learn. All these changes, according to me, require a lot of planning, counseling, coaching, and mentoring. This is going to be a mammoth task. The other bottleneck which I foresee is, huge investments that are needed for implementation of NEP. We require internet penetration, in remote areas. And as NEP, it is talking about digitization of teaching learning process. Huge investments again are needed for developing the digital infrastructures, as digital library, e-content, digital classrooms, again, which is again going to be a mammoth task. So, but we are really hopeful that if we will work upon these challenges, we would really have a good plan, good educational learning landscape for India, which will completely change the education system of India. Thank you.
Thank you all for so graciously sharing your insights and perspectives. And as you were mentioning your apprehensions when Runal talked about the focus on syllabus and not on application to real problems, when Pratibha ma'am talked about the lack of availability of teachers who are proficient in multilingual teaching, when Ranjana ma'am raised her concerns on the implementation parts. Okay, we've got the plan in place now. How do we implement it? And when Benita ma'am talked about the huge investment in digital structures that would be needed, I was secretly smiling to myself because I do see a solution over here. Now today with us we also have Deepika Singh, who is a cyber expert, to hear how technology can help address some of these challenges and key aspects that we need to keep in mind as we move forward. Deepika, welcome. Let's start by having you introduce yourself. Deepika, are you there with us? Okay, so we'll try to fix that. Okay, I guess technology always that it always plays a spoil sport at the last moment. So we'll till we get connected with Deepika. We would love to hear from you all in the chat. Okay, that what are your apprehensions and what are you excited about the NEP as we move forward. So please don't forget to leave your comments, your insights in the chat, and we've got Team Flipgrid over there to address those concerns. Okay. Till Deepika joins us, let's now discuss on how do you plan to use Flip to implement NEP. So, like I told you, I see a lot of possibility over there. So, how do you plan to use Flip to implement NEP within your classroom? Runal, let's get started with you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think Flipgrid is the oxygen for my classroom as well as all of the teachers. So my school is in rural area. Parents of children in my school are farmers. Only has a mobile, and using it, we are youth flip during the COVID pandemic time, and we survive distance learning. I think the crisis is also an opportunity to learn. So I am getting this opportunity to learn various types of ICT tools. I also train parents with children to use Flip. Everyone happily accepted this new method, and we tackle this critical situation. Flipgrid is the most child friendly tool in teaching and learning process, boosting the confidence of my learners and empowering them to share their learning with others, hence creating an atmosphere of collaboration across the globe. We use Flip, which gave wings to my student as they open up without fear of being judged or going wrong, and ask a question from students around the globe. So you also try in your classroom to go beyond the textbook and teaching. I think when fun is added to learning, the results are always best. And we are added this fun in our classroom. When in this COVID pandemic time, I am teaching some poem or some topic. That time I just create a flip topic, pasted on WhatsApp group, and through the WhatsApp group, my kids are download this flip app and share their views, share their ideas, share their stories. I think I'm just telling that upload your video, upload your poem. They immediately upload it, and the other student also see each other video, and create many and more collaboration with each other, learning many things. So I think Flipgrid is most child friendly app for us. It's very simple and easy. I think 10 or 15 minutes we are just trained to each other, and they nowadays also we are using in our classroom as well as our school. So that's how I am using Flipgrid for my classroom. Over to you, Pratibha ma'am.
Thank you so much, Runal. When we talk of 21st century skills and when we talk of communication and collaboration, I think Flip is the way. So it facilitates easy communication and collaboration among students and teachers also. So, Monal, you just mentioned that during the pandemic times, we were using Flipgrid so much to collaborate and communicate. And now we came back to hybrid teaching. And now, when schools are on, we are still using Flip to create projects for our students. In English, we have assessment of listening and speaking skills. And when we talk of assessment of listening and speaking skills in languages, then Flip really helps. Also, NEP talks of foundational literacy and numeracy. So children get a lot of confidence when they can talk and record for themselves. So Flip really helps us to get our classrooms more lively and to make education easily accessible to each and every student at all times. And when I talk of senior classes, we take up so many projects, we take up so many activities, and we can enliven those projects and activities when we add on to Flip in our teaching learning process. So with a lot of projects, activities coming up in classrooms, Flip really helps us to add on to the collaboration and communication that is so much needed as per the 21st century and as per the guidelines of NEP. So in my school, we do use Flip and we encourage teachers and students to collaborate, communicate, and it brings in a lot of bonhomie in the school, and we really enjoy working on that. Thank you so much, and over to Ranjana.
That was wonderful to know, ma'am. And I would love to say that Flipgrid is already a hero tool at DAV Srestha. It's a platform that fosters listening and speaking skills of our tiny tots and allows them to express themselves beyond the capacity of their writing abilities. Not only does it make our learners proficient in language, but also enhances their 21st century skills and develops their socio emotional and ethical skills from 3-year-olds to 17-year-olds, from self introduction to artificial intelligence, from gratitude to sustainability, from icebreakers to integrated topics across multiple learning development domains. We encourage student interaction to develop competencies and amplify their voices using Flip to make them future ready. By using Flip, powered by the vision of NEP 2020, we plan to give chance to every child to bloom, to explore, to touch, to play, to learn, to enjoy, to experiment, to question, and to shoulder responsibility. So we will together flip more fun magical moments with our learners to attain multiple intelligence and competencies in the light of NEP 2020. Over to you, Vinita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ranjana. And this is how we are also using Flipgrid in our classroom. If I talk about NEP 2020, NEP 2020 says that it talks about holistic development of learners and fostering 21st century skills like critical thinking, again, which everyone has said, creativity, collaboration, curiosity, and communication. And what better tool than Flip to enhance these skills in students? This is the only platform which is offering students not only a way to express their knowledge and creativity, but also practicing soft skills, like self confidence, respectful disagreement, punctuality with their responses, constructive criticism, and positivity. So Flip is giving voice to every student of a class. It is now not only the bold and the extrovert students who are always able to express their views and who are always getting the chance to speak in the class. Now every student, even the quietest student of our class, is also getting a chance to express themselves, and teachers are able to listen to each and every voice of the student. And I must talk about the flip camera here, because we are talking about creativity also. So flip camera, it is making learning quite fun and empowering, I must say. In addition to the ability to record a quick video with the help of this flip camera, it allows students to creatively construct their creation using variety of backgrounds, emojis, stickers, etc. beyond spoken words. And the next thing with the new education policy talks about is taking the learning outside the four walls of the classroom and encouraging students, to imbibe from the real world. And it stresses upon ensuring that students, they must interact globally, and and they must remain rooted to their Indian values also. That is also very important. So I just love the grid pal feature of flip, and which is really helping my students to connect with educators and classes around the globe. And they are able to learn about other cultures and collaborate with students on various global projects. They are brainstorming, and they are working to find solution to some of the world's biggest problems. So they are listening to each other views. So I in the end, like, I just want to sum up by saying that it is giving me immense satisfaction when I'm using this tool and finding my students developing cross cultural understanding and really doing their bit, to make this world a happier place for the future generation. So this is what I would like to share. Thank you.
Okay, so we've been able to get back Deepika with us. Deepika, thank you, thank you. Now, we would love to know more about you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Certainly. A very good evening to the wonderful panel that we have here. This is Deepika Singh. I come from a law enforcement background. I was posted to the Honorable Chief Minister's office and thereby deputed to the Cyber Police Department. Investigations of cases on cyberbullying, financial frauds, and the menaces of dark web is something that really intrigues me. We've launched a cyber helpline to do the same. And I want that the young students, the young professionals watching us, should be cyber safe for the years to come. Because as a country, we should be protecting ourselves since we are the superpower the entire world will be watching. Over to you, Kamalji.
Uh, Thank you so much for bringing that up. Okay, because Flip is one platform where the security of our children is assured. So, whenever we make groups, whenever we have topics, we know that our children are in a safe environment. The links are not, it is not available publicly until unless it is shared by the teachers themselves. So, Flip gives us that support that our children are safe. And in addition to that, we would also want to know, Deepika, what implications does NEP bring on children and the path forward for digital education from a cyber expert's point of view? Your
Certainly,
thoughts,
certainly.
Deepika?
Certainly. With the NEP and the processes plus the policy decisions that are being launched both at the center and at the state governments, we are seeing a lot more inclusiveness and a lot more vocational based training instead of skill based training right now. Till now, we have seen students focusing on general subjects, and it takes a while for them to find their calling. But when the wonderful work that the principals and teachers that we've all heard today are already doing, plus the inclusion of technology aided tools that put us to the next step, the next edge. The implications and plus the pluses here would be more focused on to empowering them to be intrapreneurial students, the ones who can make their own, create their own, and not depend on digital sources for their knowledge bases. This is something that the research genesis, the scientist based genesis, as well as the proprietary based genesis, is something that the students will be empowered to do. And as far as a cyber security point of view goes on, students right now I'm seeing are becoming very, very aware of the current scenarios that are happening, especially with things related to data security. And with a platform like Flip that takes data security very, very particularly and very, very interestingly. So it's definitely we developing a wholesome environment where privacy of every user is ingrained and they learn about this from their development years. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your insights, Deepika. Brunal, Pratibha, Ranjana, Vinita, and Deepika, thank you so much for your time today. I want to celebrate each one of you for taking the lead in the in the educational journey to Bharat with NEP empowered by Flip. But before I do that, let me quickly consolidate the key points that have stuck with me and for the benefit of our audience. So, Mrunal very beautifully pointed out how there's crisis in an opportunity, that every crisis is an opportunity to learn. I love that thought, Mrunal, and I love the fact that you used Flip to coach not only students but also their parents. I love the fact that you found it child friendly. And for all the educators out there, if an amazing teacher like Mrunal can empower her students with minimal resources in a rural background, what is stopping us? Then Pratibha ma'am mentioned that she mentioned how the collaboration between students and teachers and within Flip allows her to, and her school to participate in global projects. She talked about how she's using it in subject enrichment activity, art integrated projects, all by using the power of Flip. And that is a beautiful way of integrating uh, a tech tool within your school ecosystem. A huge shout out to the ever beautiful Ranjana, who focused on base foundational literacy and numeracy, and how she is using a Flip with our littlest learners so that they can learn not just about introductions but also about things as diverse as AI, gratitude, sustainability. That's a beautiful thought. And if you're still not following Ranjana, please give her a follow. She shares beautiful ideas on how we can use the power of Flip to empower our littles. And then there is the awesome Vinita ma'am, who talked about grid pals, how we can use co-teachers, how we can get connected with each other through grid pals and truly build in those digital citizenship, and how we can within our students, how we can ensure that our students are not working within the closed silos of our classrooms, but we are actually global citizens. That's a beautiful thought from all of our panelists. Um, Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing the love and your expertise with us. Um, and as I said, Flip is a great way to get started with NEP in your classrooms. So, my challenge for you is that if you're walking through your day, um, uh, test out your Flip vision. Ask yourself, could I create a Flip group to address this problem? And an easy way to start is to join the Flip the Script group. Creators of all kinds have been sharing their big wins using Flip to bring in their communities closer. Head on to flip.com/flipthescript 2022 to join in the fun. Every response that you add gives you a chance at winning some fresh new Flip swag. Today's been so much fun. Thank you for spending your precious time with us. On behalf of Flip, our amazing guests, Brunal, Pratibha, Ranjana, Vinita, and Deepika, thank you for joining us. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.